I'm not hiding. I'm just very productive in my dad's basement. Building technology for the betterment of humanity. And guess what, guys? New project announcement time. Yes, you heard right. We're announcing a new project right here and now. You're the first to hear it. Okay, so I've always enjoyed seeing mosquitoes die. I hate mosquitoes. I mean, I really hate them with a passion, truly. And I remember this one camping trip I took with my family to like this RV camping park. Somebody had hanging near their RV one of these blue lights with a cage around it, and every time a bug flew to the light, it got electrocuted and it fell down. And I thought that was the most awesome thing. There were tons of bugs under it, dead. And it made me really happy because I hate bugs. I hate all bugs, really, but mosquitoes the most. So, anyways, so somehow it just struck me recently. What if I made a drone that hunts mosquitoes? And so this is how it would work. First, I was thinking a quadcopter that would fly around your campsite killing mosquitoes. But then I realized, those things can be pretty loud. Maybe not all of them. I've only been around one, and it was very loud. The propeller blades were like, and it was just annoying. I couldn't imagine trying to talk to people with that thing hovering around the campsite all day trying to kill the mosquitoes. So instead of that, I came up with like a four-winged design, kind of like a robotic dragonfly, that type of design. So I'm thinking those are nice and quiet and still very agile with the four wings. They can fly in place. They can fly backwards, forwards, up, down. So I really like that. So now the question is, well, how does it actually kill the mosquitoes? So it will have a camera where it can visually detect and identify a mosquito, and I imagine you can set it to kill other bugs as well, such as bees. Um, so you have this thing patrol your campsite, maybe set a radius in the software, maybe on a phone app, and that will be communicated to it through Bluetooth from your cell phone or whatever. So it will just kind of protect where you want it to protect near you, and it will go around the campsite killing bugs. And again, the question is, well, how does it kill the bugs? So I did come up with a couple different ways. One would be infrared lasers, which are not dangerous to human eyes, unlike a normal laser where you have to wear laser glasses or it can damage your retina. But the problem with that is shooting lasers, even if they are invisible laser beams, at mosquitoes and killing them could pose a pretty substantial risk if there's like little kids playing around and let's say a heavy gust of wind or a football hit the thing, a kid threw a football at the drone right as it was firing the laser, and so the laser gets careened off target and goes into somebody's eye or something and blinds some little kid. I mean, it might not blind them, but it could probably damage their eye. Just like having it shoot at you. So it just, to me, would be unsafe as a commercial product if it had lasers involved. So the other method I came up with, which is the idea that I'm going to stick with, is to have in the center of this dragonfly styled drone, which is going to be nice and quiet because it's got wings instead of propellers, will be a vacuum fan. So you got the wings out here and then you got the fan in the middle. And this fan will turn really fast, so the drone will fly up to a mosquito underneath it, and then it will face at it, and it will turn on the fan, and the fan is in the center. So you've got wings, fan, and the wings fly up and then turn and face the fan at the mosquito who's in front of it or a little above it. And then this fan is a suction style fan, just like in a vacuum, and it causes a suction. So it sucks the mosquito in. Now, you might be thinking, well, how's that going to kill the mosquito? What if it doesn't hit the fan blade? It's not meant to hit the fan blade. Over the top will be a screen or just a metal gate to prevent somebody sticking their finger in the fan by accident and damaging their finger or whatever. Um, So there will be a metal grate and then the fan blade above, and then between the metal grate and the fan blade will be one of those electrocution wire fences. So the mosquito will get pulled through the grate toward the fan, and it will hit a mesh that's all electrified, and that's where it will get electrocuted. Now, surrounding that circular enclosure will be clear plastic. So you can actually see from the ground or from any direction, you can actually see the spark of blue light that occurs when the mosquito gets electrocuted. And I think that's very important for people that really hate mosquitoes and they're willing to buy a mosquito hunting drone. They'll really love to be able to visually see mosquitoes getting electrocuted. That spark of blue light looks cool anyways, especially as it gets near dark or whatever. So, yeah, that's important for it to be clear. And my wife had the idea that each time it electrocutes a mosquito, it will say another one bites the dust. So we can make that an optional toggle on noise. So every time it kills a mosquito, it will say another one bites the dust. And that would make it more of like a gag gift as well, which is kind of a cute idea. Now, the next question is battery life. If this thing is truly going to protect a family barbecue or a tailgating party or people out drinking beers in the backyard talking about the good old days, or a group of campers, or you take your pick, any situation that you would want mosquitoes destroyed in an area, which is pretty much any type of outdoor activity, you're going to want it to be able to do it for many, many, many hours without changing the battery of the drone. So one way would just be they buy a bunch of battery packs, and once every, I don't know, hour they have to change the battery and charge the other one. But that's a real pain. A better way would be to put a substantial sized battery on a picnic table or on the ground or whatever, and have that wirelessly charge the drone while the drone is in flight doing its job. And that can be achieved through an infrared laser and a photoreceptor on the bottom of the drone that receives the laser's power and enables it to charge wirelessly. And they've actually done that. They've had a drone 2 miles up in the air and a ground laser shooting up at it, and they were able to fly that thing for like months without needing to recharge the battery, because, or without needing to have it land to get recharged, because it can actually recharge from a laser hitting it. I guess it's similar to the concept of solar, where a sun hits a photocell and they convert that to power. In this case, a laser is hitting a more concentrated type of photocell and converting that back to power. So, yeah, it's kind of a similar concept for wirelessly charging. So that would be the ultimate way to maintain a huge flight time, so it can continue killing mosquitoes without needing to be intervened with by a human to replace the battery all the time. And then you would just need to have cameras in place that can detect humans or obstructions in the area and not shoot the laser at them. And this laser wouldn't be a laser designed to kill the mosquitoes. It would just be a laser designed to charge this thing, so it wouldn't necessarily need to be like super high powered or anything enough to kill a bug. It's just high powered enough to keep the battery charging while it's in flight to extend the battery life on the onboard battery of the drone. I also thought of an application where you could send this drone up to exterminate an entire colony of bees. Let's say you have an older house and some bees created a huge nest inside one of your, I don't know, wooden home siding in a crack in the wood, and there's just all these wasps, and your yard becomes dangerous to walk through. Now you can get up on a ladder with a can of wasp killer that shoots 15 feet or whatever, and you can try to do it that way. Maybe some wind is going to blow that all over yourself. You're going to have to wear gloves and eye protection. And you might get stung in the process if they're angry and really swarming around the whole area. It's a scary proposal. I've had to do it myself on an older house that I used to live in. But if you could send this thing up, it would be able to just attack them in a really cool way and electrocute them all, flying them down and killing them. So that would be kind of cool. Just to see like this giant drone dragonfly killing bees. It would be satisfying. Another cool application would be to have several of these roaming around your campsite on a bigger campsite or whatever, or a very heavily infested campsite with tons and tons of mosquitoes. You're going to need multiple of these going around killing so that you can kill at a high enough rate that the people being protected from mosquitoes are better protected. So you might want 3 or 4 of these things flying around. The price point will probably be around like $150. I don't know. I mean, it just depends on how automated I can get the manufacturing, and it depends on volume. I guess if I were selling more, maybe the price would come down. But originally, I think I'd keep the price kind of high, just to show that hey, this is a quality product. Whatever. I don't know. It's a good thing to keep your price high, unless if you end up like going really mainstream with it and getting into Walmart or something. So yeah, I'm thinking of really doing this, guys. I'm for sure gonna make one for myself, and I'll have a nice working prototype, and then probably bring it to market eventually. So I'm excited about it. That's the announcement. We took care of it. It's official now. I've already added it to my to-do list as well. Mosquito spray doesn't really work. Like if you're talking about yard guard, and it's expensive, and you don't actually, it only deters mosquitoes. It doesn't kill them. They just might not like the spray, or they might be willing to pass through that spray to get to you because they're just so darn hungry in that area. But to see a drone, if you hate mosquitoes, to see it going around you, protecting you, killing them, and get to visually see them dying, that would be very satisfying for somebody that truly hates mosquitoes. You could still spray around the area, but if we're talking about a pretty infested area, some are going to be flying high right above that spray and still come try to bite you. Now, if you're referring to mosquito spray you spray onto yourself, well, that simply doesn't work either. I mean, if it just depends on what kind of woods you're in. A lot of mosquitoes will bite you despite that. They'll find some place that you don't have a lot of spray on or something. Mosquito spray is, again, a deterrent, but it's not an absolute deal breaker. For some mosquitoes, they'll land right on a part of your body that you already sprayed, and they will still bite you, I'm telling you. If you're talking about a backyard, and you know there's 10 mosquitoes in your backyard, and you spray yourself real well, and you're moving around, maybe mowing the lawn, yeah, you might not get bit. But if you're talking about some deep woods campground in the middle of nowhere with thousands and thousands of mosquitoes roaming, then no, you're still going to get bit. And it's not just about, like I said, deterring them. It's about seeing them get killed. Now, I thought about just putting up one of those bug zapper lights, you know, the blue ones that you hang. And that would satisfy me, but mosquitoes aren't really attracted to those so much as like moths are. Yeah, some mosquitoes will go to it, but more often than not, the mosquitoes are going to be more interested in killing you, or not killing you, but stinging you. So I'm bringing the electric bug zapper blue light to the mosquito with this drone idea, rather than just having it hang and hope the mosquitoes go to it. I'm having it go after the mosquitoes, and that's the cool part. I don't like seeing insects be tortured. I like seeing them die of electrocution. That's different than torturing, which implies prolonged suffering. This would be just an instant death. And mosquitoes are no innocent insects either. They attack you, they bite you, they cause you tremendous itching and suffering afterward. They have no feelings of remorse about it either. You can ask them nicely, please do not bite me, and they totally ignore you. They're very rude. Their complete lack of regard for others pretty much is a guaranteed death sentence in my book. So I'm thinking of calling my drone that kills mosquitoes Mosquito Hunter Drone. Or the Mosquito Killer or something cool like that. It's not outside of the realm of possibility for me to actually have it shaped as a giant mosquito as well. So it'd be like this huge mosquito drone that kills mosquitoes. But we'll see. How about Mosquito Assassin? But it has to have drone in the word. Mosquito Assassin Drone. Nah, Mosquito Killer Drone. Mosquito Hunter Drone. I like Mosquito Hunter Drone. Using some name that's cute is less important than using a name that tells people what it does. One of the biggest problems with certain products for sale is people don't know what it does, and they're not willing to take the time to investigate. If you can't look at a product, read its name, and know exactly how it's used and why you should have it in your life, then there's a lot of people that wouldn't buy it. But if you read Mosquito Hunter Drone, you know everything that this thing's about. You know what it does, how it works, everything. I mean, the name speaks for it. So that's why I think it's important to have a name like that. If you just name it like something cute, like I don't even know, there's just a chance people won't get it. People have to get it. And you can't rely on some kind of commercial explaining the product. Like, products that are too complicated to get, people just won't buy. But everybody, I think, will be like, drones are cool and I have a drone. A drone that hunts and kills mosquitoes? Yeah, I need that drone. Like, that's... People are buying drones already. Why not have a drone that also does that? Maybe, as a bonus, maybe my drone can also be a normal drone, like on a remote control and do all the things drones do. But it would also have this mode where it goes out and assassinates mosquitoes, protecting you from them. So I think that would be even more powerful, is to have it be multi-purpose like that, so that people that buy drones could buy it as their drone, and it wouldn't just be limited to that one function of being a mosquito killer. So that's a possibility I can explore. I can say this, if I want to have a mosquito killing drone, that's going to be complex to make. And I'm not going to have some factory make it, and I'm not going to make it myself. I'm going to have my robots make it. So this is a type of product that I can make the prototype myself, sure. But as far as mass production, I'm going to want my robots to make it. So I definitely won't be mass producing this particular product until my robots are done. Until I have several robots completed. It could just be the single-armed robots too, but I want to have several of those done so that they can begin manufacturing more complex products like this for me to sell. It's not going to have a fly swatter. I told you it's going to have a vacuum system that pulls by vacuum mosquitoes into a net of electrified wire where they get electrocuted, just like those electrocution bug killer lights that you can hang up in your campsite. So I'll need to actually research the technology behind those bug electrocution lights that you hang up and implement that into my quadcopter. And then combine that with a quadcopter that has a really nice high definition camera where it's able to actually visually identify mosquitoes and fly up to them and suck them in. It's going to hoover them right in to the electrified net. And talk about a fun project too. I mean, it's gonna be really satisfying, and something I would really use. Like, I would love to have one of these, and I'd love to watch it when I'm sitting around a campsite eating a meal or whatever, I would like casually while talking to people be watching the drone flying around and seeing these sparks of electric each time it kills a mosquito. Like that would bring me tremendous satisfaction. Now, I personally am not some kind of bug loving hippie, so I would set mine to kill every bug. I mean everything. If there's a bee, if there's a fly, if there's a mosquito, kill them all. I don't care. Um, but for those who are more environmentally concerned or whatever, they can just set it to only kill mosquitoes, or even more specifically, only kill female mosquitoes because male mosquitoes don't bite you and suck your blood. That's what I read, I believe. So people can have it in that kind of mode too, but I personally will set mine to kill anything that moves. Just because I think bugs are annoying and ugly and creepy. They have no right to enter my campsite. I paid for that campsite, did they? No. So why are they coming in my campsite? They're trespassing on private property. I guess worst comes to worst, guys. If I ask everyone in chat, would you buy one of these? You'd be like, nah, I'll just use mosquito spray, right? So the way to guarantee a market, guarantee it beyond any doubt, is to price it competitively with other drones that are just drones. You fly around using your cell phone or whatever. And have it be just that. It can be a drone. But it's got this mode where it can also hunt mosquitoes. So now it's a value added drone. It's something that set me apart in the normal drone market. So it will get more sales because it can be somebody's drone and they may never use it to kill mosquitoes, but they'll be like, that's pretty handy that it can be a mosquito hunter in addition to being my drone that I'm going to use for blah blah blah, whatever they use drones for. So that will be the way to ensure that the product isn't just a failure because people don't see a need for it. They'll use it for all the needs that they would normally use a drone, and drones are great sellers, and they do sell well on the market. They're very popular. And then it adds also this amazing mosquito protection capability, which some people may or may not want, but they'll definitely want the drone. However, I have a feeling a lot of people actually would want just the mosquito hunter aspect of it. A lot of people out there, I'm sure, hate mosquitoes, and really that's what I'm bargaining on. It's not so much that people feel they need an alternative to bug spray. It's that people hate mosquitoes enough to want the satisfaction of visually seeing them get slaughtered. You don't see any mosquitoes getting slaughtered when you spray on some bug spray. They still hover around you looking for an opportunity, bouncing on your clothes, looking for a place that's not covered in bug spray. It's the idea of all those greedy bloodsuckers being just stomped out, but just seeing them with a spark of loud noise, pop, getting killed. If you really hate mosquitoes as much as I do, you would pay to see that. And you'd get to see it all day long when you're out camping. It would be just so satisfying. I'm never going to get that message, Husky. Because I'm going to have a fan at the bottom sucking in. It's a suction fan, which will be the vacuum. So let's just call it a vacuum instead of a fan. I'm going to have a vacuum. And the electrified fence will be between the vacuum and a protective covering grate. So if you had your finger, you tried to stick it into the electrified area, it would hit a grate, preventing your finger from getting electrocuted. Only a bug small enough to fit through the cracks of that would get pulled into the electrified zone. So it would be, in other words, child safe. Even if it were electrified when you tried to grab it, you wouldn't get electrocuted. No, it wouldn't kill anybody because the amount of electrical current and voltage required to kill a mosquito would be so small that you could stick your tongue to this thing and it wouldn't kill you. It would give you just a little shock. Um, think of like if your hand is electrically charged from playing basketball on an indoor court, and then you touch the water fountain and you feel a shock pass through your fingers as you go to get a drink. It would be probably less shock than that if you were to actually touch the electrocution grid. You know, they say if you want to start a business as an entrepreneur, create a product that you yourself would want to use. And I personally would love to have a mosquito hunting drone. I mean, I would love that so much. Like ridiculously a lot. And so that's the perfect product for me to make. And I believe other people out there would love it too. And I've found that if you don't have some big company with tons of employees and overhead, you can sell 10 or 20 of a product a year and still be profitable. As long as you make everything yourself. If you have to make it in quantities of 1 or 200 and spend thousands of dollars to have a factory make it, now that's a different story because now you have thousands of dollars tied up in inventory, sometimes for years at a time. That can be really difficult financially to come up with those thousands of dollars every time you need to make a reorder. Um, but if you can just make them as one-offs from home, then it's no big deal. And I'll have robots that will be able to do that, making them as I go, so I don't have to keep a huge inventory of expensive products sitting around. And I'll just do all my sales online. But if my robots really start kicking butt and the sales are going through the roof, I would consider maybe putting it at a Walmart or gas stations where they sell other drones. But at least initially, I'm just going to sell them slowly online. Mosquito spray might cost $7, but like I said, it doesn't kill mosquitoes. It just deters them, and not even it doesn't even do a great job of that. And this thing can be used in conjunction with mosquito spray. You spray your yard, you spray your skin, and you also have the drone going out and killing them. Because they're still going to be hovering around annoying you, even if you have the spray on, they're going to still be in the area. Unless if you use like a whole bunch of tiki torches. So a better comparison would be to compare it to covering your yard in tiki torches, like 5 or 6 of them. And that would cost you maybe closer to $60 or $70, and this drone might be somewhere in that price range. Oftentimes in a backyard get-together, everyone will spray themselves with mosquito spray and will light tiki torches. So mosquito spray isn't enough. You're still going to have tons of annoying mosquitoes buzzing around your eyes, your ears, and all of your body looking for spots to bite you, even with the spray on. Like I'm thinking, the drone will probably cost $150 to $200 near the launch, but obviously, if I'm able to start really streamlining the manufacturer and buying the parts in bulk and getting great discounts on economies of scale as the product grows in sales numbers, then I'll be able to lower the price closer to like the $70 or $80 range, which is where some of the cheaper drones are. This is a legitimate project. But it's only as legitimate as you think me building a robot army is, because I'm not going to start producing these at scale until I have a robot army to make them for me. In other words, don't hold your breath, this is going to be a while. But what's not going to be a while is me making the prototype. I can do that at any time, and I added that to my to-do list. So within the next 3 to 5 years, I should have a working prototype made, and I'll be able to use it personally for my own camping trips. But when will it be available to the public? Well, that's going to be maybe closer to 15 to 20 years out. Yeah, 2045 is actually close to around the time I figured it would be coming out, so that's a very good prediction console. We're on the same page with our timelines.